Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us on the number one breakfast show in the country, Morning at NTV. I do have Mr. Harry Rogers, a capital markets educator from the Capital Markets Authority. He is actually going to be acquainting us about this ongoing effort to grow Ugandan participation in the capital markets as a way of investing in the future. Are you investing in the future? Do you know ways through which you can do so? Mr. Rogers Ahere is here to acquaint you with that and a lot more. Yes, we are here taking a look at this conversation. What are capital markets? How can you and other people collectively invest in collective investment schemes? Yes. Very good morning, Rogers Ahere.
Good morning.
All right. Let's kick off with what capital markets are.
Okay, so let me try to put it in simple terms. It's a market like any other market, but here you're looking at people who have money and people who are looking for money. So on one side, I'm looking at businesses, institutions or individuals that have some money that has been saved up. And on the other side, I'm looking at government and businesses that are looking for money. So it's an avenue that brings them together. And then these businesses or government are able to pull long-term capital for their needs. And so still trying to expound on it, in this market, those businesses are able to pull money now from the public and invest it, right? So they'll offer that in terms of bonds as one way. I'll expound on bonds a little bit. Then they can also offer it in terms of shares. So if you're looking at government securities, basically you're looking at bonds and treasury bills, or treasury bills and treasury bonds, whereby the treasury bills are short-term and treasury bonds are long-term. You're looking at 2 years to 20 years.
Right.
Now, for shares, you're looking at buying actually ordinary shares or owning a company. And you're looking at publicly
Like buying
listed
shares in NTV Uganda.
Yeah, sure. If it's listed, because the key part is here is that
Listed
it has to be listed for it to fall under the Capital Markets Authority. Yeah.
All right, let's use examples of Romeo Busiku and a few of his colleagues have a circle through which they are saving money and now they want to invest that money. We are 10 of us.
Yeah.
Yes, we are collectively saving money with this scheme right here at NTV Uganda. So how do we invest this money in the CSI, collective investment schemes? How do we make money?
Okay, so like you've said, you're a group of people, you've pulled your money, put it together, you want to invest it. Probably you have other things you're doing, so you don't have the time.
Indeed.
That's when now a CIS manager comes in. A CIS manager will help you make the investment decision. Pick a fund for you. Okay, you'll pick a fund, and then the investment manager will make a decision on how to allocate that money. Let me give an example. If you say you want to buy into shares, you're giving him money, then the collective investment manager will now decide which shares to buy. Let's say, let me go to East Africa, Safaricom. Can I buy Safaricom? Can I buy Umeme? Can I buy Stanbic? So the investment decision now goes to the CIS manager.
The collective investment scheme manager. But what we want to know, does the fund manager confer with me or us, the people who gave him or her the money, before they make the decision, before they invest in either treasury bills or bonds, before they invest either in the shares? Do they first confer with me or us, the people who gave that person the money?
Okay, so I think I can put it in two ways, right? When you're going into, giving the money to a CIS manager, you're going to choose the fund where you want this money invested. So that's where your input is, right? You're going to say, we want a fund which has shares, which has bonds, mixed up.
All right.
We want a fund which only invests, let's say, in treasury bills and bonds.
So the fund manager would focus on those two jurisdictions.
Then
all right.
Within that, the fund manager would make the decision.
All right.
On which bonds to buy, because you can buy a bond for 3 years, for 5 or 10, right? That you won't have an input.
So the fund manager will help you not to make risky decisions.
Yes. Okay. Sure. That comes in. Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the role of the fund manager is to make that decision, what to buy at what time, when to sell it, right? But for you, you'll have an input of choosing which fund to invest in, because there are quite a number of funds you can choose from.
Why should the listeners or the viewers of this show invest in collective investment schemes?
I think the biggest advantage you'll get from CIS is the tax exemption. There are quite many. But I think tax exemption.
Explain how that comes about.
So according to the Income Tax Act of Uganda, income distributed by a CIS manager is exempted from tax, right?
Yes.
So if you pull money and give it to a fund manager, and this manager is managing it for you, a CIS manager for that matter, the income that is given to you will not be taxed.
That is amazing. The
Okay?
returns from this business venture.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah, it will not be taxed. Let me try to expound on that.
Why are Ugandans not clamoring for this? This is tax-free.
I'm thinking
Information?
yeah, exactly. You'd only not invest with the CIS manager if you don't know.
I see.
Okay.
Please
Otherwise,
go
if you
ahead.
do, you must really take this opportunity and
Go ahead,
invest.
Rogers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was going to expand a little bit on it in using an example of a treasury bill. Currently, if you invest in a treasury bill, you'll pay a tax of 20%.
I see.
Right? So whichever amount of money you receive, 20% is withheld. Let's say you've invested and you're earning 1 million. So before they give the 1 million, they'll take off 200,000. You'll get 800,000. But if you do it with the CIS manager, you will not pay that tax.
I see.
You know? Yeah. So which is a huge, huge advantage. I can go to another advantage. I'd look at liquidity. You can't actually access this money as and when you want it from the fund manager. There's always a minimum time. A fund manager might give you a minimum time of 14 days or 1 month. But it means after that period, you can actually go to the fund manager and say, now I need this money. Can I have it back? Let me give an example of what we experienced during the lockdown. People were still able to access their money through the fund managers. If you had saved your money and then you're stuck, this would be the time to ask the fund manager to transfer that money back to you. And
This
they
is
were
amazing
paying.
because we didn't see this happen with the National Social Security Fund. Yes, the money did not come through. But the CSIs were giving
But
out
they were
money.
paying, yes.
That's my main point. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a
This
big
is beautiful
advantage.
because you are saving with the collective investment scheme. You have a fund manager taking care of your money. COVID-19 hits. The pandemic has wrought devastating effects. You do not have money. They can give you your savings.
Yes.
This is amazing. Go ahead.
Sure. Another advantage you'll get is compound interest. Okay, so let me try to break this down. Most fund managers will distribute the interest at the end of the month, right? So at the end of the month, you have the interest added on your account. It means that interest will earn more interest in the following month if you don't take it away. Okay, I've invested, I've earned, let's say, 10,000. That 10,000 is going to be part of my principal the next month. So that is going to earn me more interest. So you'll find that the interest grows even faster. You know, it's not like, let me not go there, but with compound interest, your money will increase faster than when you have, let's say, a fixed deposit. Yeah.
All right, okay, expound more on the issue of shares because I do know that more Ugandans are buying shares. So give them more knowledge on how best they could do that.
Okay, so in the shares, if you're really interested in shares, you could now choose an equity fund. Right?
Equity fund.
Yes, it means under an equity fund, a fund manager is going to concentrate on only buying shares. The biggest advantage here you'll get is the fund manager is going to be it's his work. He's doing research. This is his daily job, right? He's going to be looking at the market, how the movements are, choosing when to buy, when to sell.
This is beautiful because I
Right?
just take a back seat and the fund manager does everything.
Exactly. And then reports back to you maybe on a monthly basis, so that to show you how your portfolio is doing. So licensed fund managers currently are doing East Africa, so they can't buy shares within East Africa of listed companies, right? You might be there thinking, how do I buy Umeme? How do I buy Safaricom? I hear it's performing well. So all you have to do is to go to the fund manager and they'll do that for you, right? And the pool. And on top of that, it means when the dividends come in, they're exempted from that tax, right? Because it's income from a CIS.
Of course, you've given us one different fund, that is the equity fund.
Yes.
And you also gave us another, but we want to know more different types of the collective investment scheme funds that one can invest in.
Yeah, sure. Let me run through them. There are like 4 types currently available. So the first one would be what we call a money market fund.
Money market fund.
Money market fund.
Right.
That's actually the simplest fund you can do because it's structured, it invests in fixed income securities, so you're sure of interest on a monthly basis, right? So when you invest in a money market fund, the fund manager will give you daily interest, right?
Yes.
Most fund managers would report this interest at the end of the month. So every end of month, they'll give you a statement which shows how much you've earned